Hello students, I am Dr. Vidya Patil and I am the English teacher for the BSc First Sem English Language course. In this video, I will be dealing with the third lesson, that is a mysterious coronavirus hits China. In this article, we will be studying about what exactly is the coronavirus, what are the different types, and the symptoms of this dangerous disease. Also, we will try to find out how we can take precautions against this disease. So, come, let us try to read and understand this lesson. So, the title of this third chapter is Mysterious Coronavirus Hits China. The author is anonymous. Anonymous means whose name we do not know. ಯಾರ್ದು ಹೆಸರು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತವರಿಗೆ ಅನಾನಿಮಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಲೆಸನ್ದು ಲೇಖಕರು ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ನಮಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. The World Health Organization, WHO, has declared a global health emergency over a new coronavirus that has killed several hundred people following an outbreak in the central Chinese city of Wuhan. So, illen gottagtad namagandre the WHO. So you must all be knowing already that WHO is one of the parts of the or units of the United Nations Organization, UNO. So the World Health Organization declared a global health emergency. When did this emergency, when was it declared? When a new coronavirus was found which had killed several hundreds of people. So one hosa coronavirus anta gottagid nantara ee virus kadindu ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸಾವಿರಾರು ಜನ ತೀರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಎಮರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. This was first noticed in the central Chinese city of Wuhan. So you will start agidu. This was in a Chinese city which was named Wuhan. There were more than 70,000 cases of infection which were positive cases across China, most of them in Hubei province, of which Wuhan is the capital. So this virus was first observed in Hubei province. The capital of this province was Wuhan. And there were more than 70,000 positive cases of infection. So, Hubei province, China the one bhaga, ಆ ಭಾಗದ ರಾಜಧಾನಿ ವುಹಾನ್ ಅಂತ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ more than 70,000 positive cases ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿತ್ತು. However, Hong Kong, the Philippines, Japan, France, and Taiwan have recorded a few deaths. A few positive cases have been reported from Kerala in India. Ashte illa, Hong Kong, Philippines, Japan, France, Taiwan, in all these countries, positive cases have been reported. Even a few deaths have been also reported. Also, a few positive cases have been reported from Kerala in India. So this article has been written in the initial stages when coronavirus had just been identified and people had come to know about this pandemic. Now, what is coronavirus? The coronavirus is a family of viruses that can cause a range of illnesses in humans, including common cold and more severe forms like Sars and MERS, which are life-threatening. The virus is named after its shape, which takes the form of a crown with protrusions around it and hence is known as coronavirus. So, coronavirus andre yenu? It is a family of viruses. So, there are many different types and that is why they are known as a family of viruses. And they can cause various different kinds of illnesses in human beings, which is including common cold. So, normal common cold, which we can all get infected with, is also because of one of the types of a coronavirus. There are also other viruses which can cause more severe diseases like SARS and MERS. And these diseases are sometimes even life-threatening. That is, you can even lose your life. The virus is named after the shape of the virus. So why is this virus called as the coronavirus? Because the shape is in the form of a crown and there are many protrusions. So you can, if you have seen an image of a corona, the COVID, then you can see that it has the shape of a crown and there are various protrusions which are observed on it. Now, the next part in the article is, how did the recent outbreak occur? The recent outbreak of coronavirus is believed to have occurred in a market for illegal wildlife in the central Chinese city of Wuhan. Chinese health authorities and the WHO investigating the outbreak of the recent coronavirus. So, the first time this virus was observed was in the market of the city of Wuhan. There was an illegal wildlife market, so where even wild animals are sold. It was that kind of a market, and it was there that it is believed that the virus was actually started spreading from. A coronavirus was first isolated in 1937 from an infectious bronchitis virus in birds that has the ability to seriously devastate poultry stocks. These viruses are responsible for between 15 and 30% of common colds. So the coronavirus was for the first time observed in 1937. It had been isolated from an infectious bronchitis virus, so which was found in certain birds. So ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸಲ ಕೊರೋನಾ ವೈರಸ್ಗೆ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಇನ್ 1937. ಆವಾಗ ಪಕ್ಷಿಗಳದಾಗ ಕಾಣಿಸಿದ್ದು ಬ್ರಾಂಕೈಟಿಸ್ ವೈರಸ್ ನಾಗಿಂದು ಇದು ಕೊರೋನಾ ವೈರಸ್ಗೆ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. These viruses are responsible for almost 15 to 30% of common colds. So all this cold which we all generally suffer from, these colds are also caused by these coronavirus. Over the last 70 years, scientists have found that coronavirus can infect mice, rats, dogs, cats, turkeys, horses, pigs, and cattle. So, during this 70 years of research, scientists have found that coronaviruses can infect almost all kinds of animals, such as mice, rats, dogs, cats, turkeys, horses, pigs, and cattle. Most recently, authorities have identified a coronavirus outbreak in China that has now reached other countries. So till now, it had not been so rampantly observed in human beings, but now we have also noticed that coronavirus is being found in human beings also. Now, certain fast facts on coronaviruses. There is no cure for the common cold. So, we may take something to reduce the symptoms, but we cannot completely find a cure for common cold. So you must have heard of the common saying that with medicines it lasts for 7 days and without medicines for a week. So there is no proper cure for common cold. A coronavirus causes both SARS and MERS. So these are more serious diseases which can also be caused by a coronavirus. Coronaviruses infect many different species. So as we have just seen, they can infect almost all kinds of animals. There are 7 known human coronaviruses. So till now they have found out 7 types of coronaviruses which usually infect human beings. And the World Health Organization has named the illness COVID-19, referring to its origin late last year and the coronavirus that causes it. So Since it was first observed in December 2019, the World Health Organization has named this illness COVID-19. 19 is the year in which it was first observed, and COVID is the name of the coronavirus. Now let us look at some of the symptoms. Cold or flu-like symptoms usually set in from 2 to 4 days after coronavirus infection, and they are typically mild. However, symptoms vary from person to person, and some forms of the virus can be fatal. So, generally normal cold. So, sardi usually nammellariga ಆಗ್ತದ. So, that is the most common symptom. ಯೂಶಲಿ 2-4 ದಿವಸ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು 2-4 ದಿವಸ ಆಗಿದ ನಂತರ ಈ ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಬರ್ತದೆ. Sometimes it can be severe also, the symptoms, and generally one ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿನಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಒಬ್ಬರದಾಗ ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಬ್ಬರ ಹತ್ರ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಬಹುದು. Symptoms include sneezing, a runny nose, fatigue, a cough, in rare cases fever, a sore throat, and exacerbated asthma. So, what are the common symptoms of coronavirus? Is COVID-19 is sneezing, runny nose, fatigue, so yavagnu tired ansta irtade, cough, and sometimes even fever. There is sore throat also, and sometimes an enhanced stage of asthma. Now, can it be cured? Human coronaviruses cannot be cultivated in the laboratory easily, unlike the rhinovirus. Another cause of the common cold, this makes it difficult to gauge the coronavirus impact on national economies and public health. So, it cannot be cultivated in the laboratory easily. Certain other viruses, they can be cultivated, and so it is easy to find an antidote for it. But since the human coronavirus cannot be easily cultivated in the in the laboratory, it is very difficult to find out a proper cure for it. And also, what is going to be the impact of this coronavirus on the public health and on the economies of all the very different nations is something which needs to be looked at. So we need to remember here that this lesson or this article has been written when coronavirus had just cases of coronavirus had begun to be reported. So in the very initial stages. Now the disease, there is no cure. So treatments include taking care of yourself and over-the-counter medication. So since there is no cure for this disease, all that you can do is take care of yourself and some medications to reduce the impact of the various symptoms. So rest and avoid overexertion. So it is always better that if you are suffering from COVID-19, you should take rest. You should drink enough water. You should avoid smoking and staying in areas filled with smoke. You should take acetaminophen, ibuprofen or naproxen to reduce pain and fever. You can also use a clean humidifier or a cool mist vaporizer. So, humidifier or a vaporizer in order to keep your nasal channels clean and so that you can breathe easily. The virus responsible can be diagnosed by taking a sample of respiratory fluid such as mucus from the nose or blood. So, for testing for the COVID-19 can be done by taking samples of the fluid from or the mucus from the nose or from the blood. Now, which are the different types of coronavirus? Different types of human coronaviruses vary in the severity of illnesses they cause and how far they can spread. There are currently 7 recognized types of coronavirus that can infect humans. So, there are various, till now they have identified 7 types of coronavirus which usually infects human beings. Some of the common types include 229E, which is known as alpha coronavirus, NL63, which is again another alpha coronavirus, OC43, which is a beta coronavirus, and HKUI, which is also a beta coronavirus. Rarer, more dangerous types include MERS-CoV, which causes Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, and severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS-CoV. The coronavirus responsible for SARS in 2019, a dangerous new strain started circulating, but it does not yet have an official name. Health authorities are currently referring to it as 2019 novel coronavirus. So here we can see, we get an idea about the various kinds of coronavirus which can infect human beings. Among this, MERS-CoV and SARS-CoV are two kinds of coronavirus which can cause severe infections in human beings. The present coronavirus, which first infected the human beings on such a large scale in 2019, has at present been named as novel coronavirus. Now let us now try to understand how this coronavirus can get transmitted, or how is it transmitted. There has not been a great deal of research on how a human coronavirus spreads from one person to the next. However, it is believed that viruses transmit using secreted fluid from the respiratory system. So though there has not been much research and it is not known how it can spread from one person to other, it is believed that it can be transmitted using the secreted fluid from our respiratory systems. Coronaviruses can spread in the following different ways. Coughing and sneezing without covering the mouth can disperse droplets into the air, spreading the virus. So when you cough or you sneeze and you don't cover your mouth, then there is chances that the droplets can be dispersed in the air, and then this can lead to spreading of the virus. Next, by touching or shaking hands with a person that has the virus can pass the virus from one person to another. So when you shake hands or touch somebody who is suffering from this disease, then the virus may pass on from that person to the another person. Another way of transmission is by making contact with a surface or object that has the virus and then touching your nose, eyes, or mouth. So if a COVID infected person has touched a particular place and then you go and touch the same place and then use your hands and touch your nose or eyes or mouth, then again the virus can get transmitted. On certain rare occasions, a coronavirus may spread even through contact with feces, that is by using the washroom. Now next, let us try to find out what are these severe diseases such as SARS, which is also caused by a kind of coronavirus. Now, SARS, which is known as severe acute respiratory syndrome, is a contagious disease which is caused by the SARS-CoV coronavirus. It typically led to a life-threatening form of pneumonia. So what happens in SARS is that the virus causes severe infection and it leads to a life-threatening kind of pneumonia. The virus started off in the Guangdong province in southern China in November 2002 and eventually reached Hong Kong. From there, it rapidly spread around the world, infecting people in almost 37 different countries. So this virus also was first noticed in southern China in November 2002. So SARS virus China nalli November 2002 nalli ಮೊದಲು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಬಂದಿತ್ತು and ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದು ಅದು ಹಾಂಗ್ಕಾಂಗ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಹಾಂಗ್ಕಾಂಗ್ ನಿಂದು ಈಗ 37 ದೇಶಗಳಿಗೆ ಇದು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. SARS-CoV is unique. It can infect both the upper and lower respiratory tract and can also cause gastroenteritis. So it can infect both upper and lower respiratory tract. So, respiratory system infect ಮಾಡಿ, it also causes gastroenteritis. So, it affects the digestive system also. The symptoms of SARS develop over the course of a week and start with a fever. Early on in the condition, people develop flu-like symptoms such as dry coughing, chills, diarrhea, breathlessness, aches, etc. So, SARS symptoms ಒಂದು ವಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. Usually beginning ನಲ್ಲಿ it begins with a fever. So, uri jara then start ಆಗುತ್ತದೆ, and then it goes on to develop certain flu-like symptoms. So, sardi ನಾವೇನ್ generally ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, that is what we face. Next, pneumonia, a severe lung infection may develop afterwards, and at its most advanced stage, SARS causes failure of the lungs, heart, or liver. So, then this cold symptoms turns into a severe lung infection, pneumonia, and finally, it can even lead to the failure of the lungs, heart, or liver. During the epidemic, that is during the SARS epidemic, there were 8,098 confirmed cases of SARS with 774 fatalities. This is equal to a mortality rate of 9.6%. Complications were more likely in older adults, and half of all infected people over the age of 65 years who became ill did not survive. It was eventually brought under control in July 2003. So, November 2002 ನಲ್ಲಿ start ಆಗಿತ್ತು, but by July 2003 ಅದು control ನ ತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. Now, this SARS, there were confirmed cases of around 8,098. But when we compare that to our COVID cases, I think you can see what is the great difference here. Now, let us look at one more life-threatening disease, which is also caused by a coronavirus. That is MERS. MERS is a potentially fatal coronavirus. MERS caused by the MERS coronavirus was first recognized in 2012. So, MERS no inandu fatal that is life, which is life-threatening. So, nim jivanu hogbodu. This was recognized in 2012. And this severe respiratory illness was first found in Saudi Arabia. From there, it has spread now to various countries. It has also reached the US and the Arabian Peninsula and also in South Korea. Now, the symptoms of MERS include fever, breathlessness, and coughing. The illness spreads through close contact with people who have already been infected. However, all cases of MERS are linked to individuals who have recently returned from travel to Arabian Peninsula. MERS is fatal in 30 to 40% people who contract it. So, students, in this lesson, we have tried to understand what exactly is the coronavirus, what are the different types of coronavirus, which are the other diseases which are caused by this virus, and what are the symptoms and how we can try to take care of ourselves if we get infected by the coronavirus. I hope you liked this video. Thank you.